the money.
Coach Holmes, you mean to tell me you had a quarterback sitting on the sideline that was ready to play, ready to win, ready to get on the field and show that he had chemistry with the team? They was playing well, they was scoring points, they was doing all of these things. But you mean to tell me you kept him on the sideline the whole game just to let yourself see that you needed him on the field? Coach Holmes, what were you thinking? Coaching staff, everybody from John Tyler who had any type of say-so in who plays and gets on the field, what were you all thinking? Because this has just got to be the dumbest, idioticest thing I've ever seen. A team purposely losing games that they should win, important games. I'm not talking about playing Wiley East or playing who's a bad team, better than this John Tyler team, the Miami Dolphins or something. Like, you're playing two big games. Last week you went over to McKinney North and started this guy Mark Sanchez. Yes, his name is Mark Sanchez, and I'll get into him in a minute once we start the real podcast. But you start him knowing Cam had the great game, a pretty good game against Wiley East. And what do? You take him out, and then you put him. You don't start him. Then you put him in on the second half, the third quarter, just to show. Oh, he threw like 2 touchdowns. Like, oh, this guy is good. But I hear over here from our knuckleheads on the team that you say you should have stuck with your gut feeling and kept Mark Sanchez in the game. Are you kidding me, Coach Holmes? Like, I can't believe it. I'm not the coach of the team. I'm pretty sure you got some type of plan. You have to have some type of plan to be doing what you're doing right now. But right now, what you're doing is nothing but making your team look bad. You're making them look bad. You're hurting these teams. You're hurting these kids' chances of even like what you're doing with Cam. You're hurting his chances of getting looked at schools because you're keeping him on the bench because of your ego or whatever, the personal problems you got going on. It wasn't a talent thing. It wasn't Cam couldn't play or something. It's personal reason that you keep him on the bench, which is, I don't understand it. How can a coach do that? I don't know. How can they? I'm telling you, this is just the worst decision. Like, the team played terrible, but you know what? It's all into the future. We gotta look ahead. But like right now, JT gotta take out their Metro cards right now and get aboard this L train again. But it's gonna be short-lived, because if you get to this game next week and you lose to Sherman, you're going to Lufkin. You're going to Lufkin. And even then, it doesn't matter. But you get to that game in Lufkin and lose in the first round, just know your dreams of hoisting that UIL trophy, your dreams of going to the playoffs, the second round, meeting Highland Park at that rematch, your dreams of showing the team, everybody, that you could do it like the old days, the 94 Cujo team, the 73 Cujo team, the whatever, I think it was another Cujo team that won it, JT team back in the 50s or 30s, or I don't know, back in the caveman days. All of those, all those dreams will be absolutely deleted and gone forever because you'll be out of the playoffs and you'll be gone. Y'all will be done, one and done. I just have to say that. It's just got to be said. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Now, what did y'all do? What's to do? Yes, your boy 3CP. Welcome to the No Huddle Podcast. And yes, there was a game. We talking about it right now. There was a game Friday night. All right, so we get into it right now. We're just going to get right into it. JT comes out of this game, a game they could have won, a game that they should have won, a game that they supposed to win, that they needed to win. So they come out, they start this guy saying, now I see who Sanchez was. Yes, now I see what y'all saying. Nobody really answered my question of who Sanchez was, but now I see who he was. And he looked, I could tell from this from the get-go, when I looked at him on the sidelines, I said this guy was not going to be ready to play this game. He just didn't look like he could come out there and make plays. This dude, I'm not saying he's a bad guy or a bad player. He just didn't look like he was going to play that quarterback position the way they needed it to play. So, come out the first drive. I pretty sure, he's going to hand the ball off, throw some little runs, because Crawford is the only guy that's pretty much the carrier. He's carrying his team now since Cam, they didn't want to play him. And we know what's going. Well, some of us know what's going on. Some of us don't. But anyway, Sanchez comes out here, hands the ball off a few times, then he throws it. When he threw that ball the first time, I see his throw. He did not have arm power, and that showed because they put in Isaiah Johnson just to throw that long pass. They took Sanchez out just for Isaiah to throw that deep pass. So that knew that he can't throw the ball far. So it's off the top, bam. You got this guy coming out here who can't throw the ball 10, 20 to 15 yards. He threw a little dink-dunk pass and he completed it. I was like, okay, we got him rolling out, throwing pass, okay. But after that, it just stunk it up. Like, it was atrocious. Just one pass, he threw the ball like right to the defenders, and he kept playing. Like I wanted him to do good. It's not like I didn't want him to not do it. He's not ready. He wasn't ready last week, and he definitely wasn't ready tonight. And that's why he's Mark Sanchez. So let's just gotta say what it is. And yes, the Mavericks are going to beat the Lakers. Bam, bam, bam. Oh yeah, I'm a Mavericks fan anyway. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. That has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about. But anyway. Mark Sanchez came out here and just played bad. He played bad enough to where I could say I would not put him back in again. Now, I'm like, come on. How can... Oh, no, they didn't win. Okay, 6 seconds left. I'm stupid. I thought they won. Never. That still has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. Nothing to do with what we're talking about. But Mark Sanchez came in here and threw some bad passes after that first drive. And... he just showed it, but Coach Holmes and the coach staff just looking around like, okay, yeah, we're gonna keep him in the game. What are y'all gonna do about it? We're gonna put him back in the game, and it just showed like, are they losing the game on purpose to get away from getting to play Highland Park now? First, I thought they was tanking just to get to that second place, but now I saw they wanted to lose this game too. The coach staff did not want to win this game, so maybe they're trying to tank to get to Lufkin, because I don't think you want to go to Lufkin, not with Mark Sanchez at quarterback, definitely not with Mark Sanchez at quarterback. And so I'm just like, it was just, I didn't know what was going on. Then Isaiah would come in, he'd come out, he would come in, Isaiah would come in, then Sanchez would come back. It was like, you never knew what was going on. It was just, and at one time Keaton was in the quarterback, and he finally threw the ball, and he threw it and he missed it, and I finally got my question. I like yesterday. I finally got my answer to why he can't play quarterback, and he can't. So, and now I see why he's not just be the quarterback and do everything, because that throw wasn't it. He can do everything else, but just not that. But. Crawford was, like I told you, he was made in a laboratory somewhere. He wasn't born. He was made in a laboratory somewhere. Like, this dude is just, if you don't have Crawford on the team, you don't this jump title team. A guy, shout out to JT Fan 99. He said this, and this is a true statement. I believe him now. He said, without Crawford on this team, JT only beats Wiley East. And wouldn't y'all agree? They probably only beat Wiley East. So yeah, like I said, okay, we're getting back to it. Mark Sanchez came in, played bad. And we just knew it wasn't going nowhere with him. It wasn't going. I know everybody was talking about, oh my God. Okay, once again, Danny Green been hitting shots like that for years. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about on this podcast. But anyway, once again, he came in, and I was like, hey, like. I'm thinking like there's a chance that they're gonna let Cam come in, because there's just no way they're gonna let this game keep going on without Cam to come in and save the day. Superman Cam come in and save the day, but no, it was still Cam was sitting on the sideline. I did not see a coaching staff, nobody even really come and talk with him. Like this saying, it seemed like they wasn't even trying to talk to him. They was just pretty much ignoring him, and he was just standing on the sideline. He didn't really seem too enthusiastic about the team, like when they was up, when they was down, when they scored. Like he was there, and I would feel like you can't blame him, because the coach is pretty much doing him wrong. But you know, it's coming to it. It might come down to it. Like this might be where Coach Holmes is trying to get out of there. Maybe this might be his last year coming up in coaching. I don't know, but anyway, we get there. Like I said, the second half, Isaiah took over. I can show that Isaiah can throw. He can throw real far, but he got to get that accuracy up. That's the big problem. And then like he never was a runner to me. Like I said, he tried to run, but he just seemed like he's a little on the slow side of running. That's why Cam was a better fit, because he can run, and his throwing is better. Like that deep throw he's throwing, Cam's deep throws were more on point. When people agree, we saw that. So hey, like I don't know who. I know people was really going out on the last week when Sanchez came in the game, and they played Wiley Bikini North. And the game before that, they played when he started, and they said he did a good job, or was it the same game they lost? Did they say he did a good job? Yeah, like it was the McKinney North game. They're like, oh yeah, Sanchez did a great job. He didn't do nothing but hand the ball off. Now I got to see what he's doing, and I was like, who thought of this? Who was this? Whose idea was this to put this guy in at quarterback? Whose idea? This for any right person in their mind knows not that was not the right choice. So he came in, then Isaiah came in, played the rest of the game. Like I said, he threw some good passes here and there. And then he would throw some Mick picks. He threw that Mick pick 6 and pretty much ended the game. And me and CJ sung the song as the guy was running down the sideline. We was singing the Mick pick 6 song, like Chilton O'Donnell would say in his commentary, and it'd be like, "Can I get a Mick pick 6? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba." But you know, I'm telling you, you get it's not funny now, but later on, it should be funny, because I think this team can turn it around if somebody get their ego out of the way and learn how to just let the team play. But that's what it is, man. This was right after the game, so this is right hot off the presses. So yeah, we got CJ in here. Put him on, see what he got on think. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's seen the same thing I saw, because we were sitting there looking at it. So we're gonna see what he got to say about this.
Well. Yeah. You know, Rob, spoke on the situation. As I was going to say, in the days leading up to the game, there was some information that I guess there was going to be a surprise Friday night. I pretty much knew what it was going to be pertaining to. There was a quarterback situation. Now, long story short, I'm a real speaker. I speak real on this, and what I'm gonna say is, we don't know the situation. All we can do is show up, talk about what we see, and on to the next one. Because I always say that, especially with high school sports, it's just like, okay, for example, it might seem like I'm rambling a little bit, but I'm just giving you rambling a little bit, but I'm just giving y'all an example. Of course, when something happens with another school, you ain't gonna know pretty much what's going on unless you just see something reported. Uh, there was no Seth McGowan from Mesquite Poteet, the star running back committed to Oklahoma, one of the top rated running backs. Now maybe he was hurt, because I don't know, and I don't even know if he played last week. But yeah, I thought I would get to see him tonight. But some things we don't find out till maybe after the game, till it's reported. Some things are reported later on. That's how it goes in high school sports. Sometimes it's not like pro sports or even college. But anyway, so it was no Seth McGowan. We saw that, and basically, I'm just gonna talk about what I seen. Long story short, JT had plenty of opportunities to win this football game. It kind of reminded me. Well, I wouldn't say it reminded me of the Longview game, because the Longview game, you facing a very formidable team that has a star quarterback, and no matter how many turnovers they get, they stay in the ball game, because at that point in the season, JT couldn't even hardly buy any points. So it really reminded me of more of the Longview game last year, because you like, man, JT can win this game, because that was really before. Was it last year? My mind's kind of foggy, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Not last year, but year before last. That's what I meant. I meant year before last. I'm thinking. I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me. Year before last. This was before Longview took off. So because I believe they won that game. It was kind of a irritating loss, because you was like, man, you can Longview. They don't even look like Longview, so that we're used to seeing, because I've been watching Longview all my life, and Longview is Longview every year, just like John Tyler is John Tyler. So they giving you the game, just make one or two plays and you win the game, and that's what kind of reminded me of tonight, when you don't have. Okay, Mesquite Poteet, well, the quarterback, he looks maybe mediocre at best. Me and Rob was talking. We was like, well, because I didn't know nothing about the quarterback. It's Seth McGowan and Mesquite Poteet. So, but I'm pretty sure they have other athletes. Just like I realized, I'm telling Rob, the wide receiver number 8. You can tell he got some skills, real good hands. He snatched a couple balls. You could just tell, if you know sports, you can tell where the talent is. Just like I've been talking about Frank Turner, I can tell he got some talent. Can they build a report? Can they build chemistry with the quarterback and running back? Okay, I know Cam can throw the ball, but can he hook up? Can he hook up with Frank Turner? Down the field. And what happened tonight? I believe it was the first play that Isaiah Johnson went in at quarterback. First play that he's coming in for Sanchez. They go deep, and they missed it. They missed I believe he ran a post. I don't know if he ran a post or just hit it down the seam, but he missed Frank Turner. He barely overthrew it. Frank Turner probably could have stretched out. It was kind of like that ball that went. It kind of reminded me of that ball Carson Wentz threw when the Eagles faced the Cowboys, a couple weeks ago, and analyst was kind of. I heard, of course, I was pretty sure I was gonna hear it from at least one person or two that, man, he could have laid out for that ball, because that would have probably gave Philly some momentum. Of course, Dallas shellacked, and Wentz, he threw it. You see where he threw it, where he could catch it and keep running. That's how you're supposed to throw it. So, but he didn't lay out for it. It didn't seem like he put enough effort in it. So that that's the criticism. But back to the John Tyler game. Yeah. See what I told Rob is, well, the one pro about what they were doing. Speaking of John Tyler with the, you know, you put Isaiah Johnson in, and you don't know, are they gonna go back to Sanchez? Well, is Cam gonna come in the third quarter, or is they gonna do like they did last week against McKinney North? The only thing is you can't prepare for that. It's like a change up. That's the only pro I see about it, because it's like, well, there's no film on this. So who is Isaiah Johnson? Well, I know he plays on defense. He plays receiver. And you ain't seen him play quarterback since early in the season. So and has he developed? You don't know what they do unless you at their practices or whatever. You don't really know what's going on. So, and that's the one good thing about it. But I knew, I was like, man, the way this game is going, they're going to have to establish the run. This is what I said. This is like last week when I said, if John Tyler makes maybe one, there's going to come a time where you're going to have to make one or two throws to put you over the top, because it's going to take a drive. And I'm finna bring up a prime example. I told Rob, and I mentioned it again late on in the game, that you're going to have to make, like Cam, that's what I've been saying. Can he make, they're going to have to sustain drives. You're going to have to make one or two. I mean, they talk about this in the pros. Whether they criticize a Dak Prescott or whatever. Okay, like Keaton Crawford, he was eating something tonight. Shout out to Keaton Crawford. The man, he's a man, okay? I posted this. He's a man, all capital letters. He just sniffs the end zone, from here to Albuquerque. He sniffs it, okay? He sniffs it. He got a knack for the end zone, just like the first touchdown in this game against Mesquite Poteet. I believe he took it. I believe it was a third down. And please forgive me, y'all, if I got the down. I'm going right off top of the dome about this. I believe it was like a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 6, because they ran it. And, sometimes that's not a running situation. He followed the blocks, got a little crease, and got in the end zone. And you could tell how he finished off that run, that he was like, no, I have to get in this end zone. Like, no, because he followed the block at the end, got in the end zone for the first score. And then the second score, just a man beast of a run. I was like, well, he might repeat. Now, I'm not saying he going to get, 300. He going to top 300 again. But if he can bring, have that same hunger, if they can, look, without the turnovers, and I believe you fed Crawford a little bit more and made maybe a 2 or 3 throws, JT would have pulled out this game, because it's the little things that add up in a whole. That you eliminate the turnovers. Well, eliminate the turnovers. Make these 2 or 3 plays. I'm probably being modest, but I'm gonna say 2 or 3 for sure. And then you probably make a stop, a key stop, and then you win the game. So that's what gets irritating, and that's what it is. We're just right there, and we done seen games like this. And especially with John Tyler not being a hot, let's just say they have to win a different way this year. And we done seen that, and it's gonna take even longer for us to, well, when they finally start putting together a winning streak, we know, I'm like, well, they got to win a certain way. And, so, I mean, hey, like I say, but back to what I was saying, the example I was talking about of making those throws, I believe it was a 3rd and 5. I'm like, well, Isaiah, he's gonna have to make a first down throw. He's gonna have to hit one, just a throw over the middle, one of the slot receivers, or he's gonna have to hit an out route. He didn't do that. And then later on, he's hitting these out routes like, well, y'all down by, I believe y'all down by 10 at this point, with maybe 4 or 5, like 4 minutes and something left. Like, you trying to, well, what was that on that 3rd and 5? Because if you convert that 3rd and 5, you keep the drive going instead of giving it back to Mesquite Poteet. And I believe that's when they scored again to go up 10, I believe. Because the score was still 17-14. Poteet was up. See what I'm saying? That's where you have to. Now, if I know a guy, I'm just saying, I know a guy that shares the same name as the brand of a vehicle. He could have his legs would have probably came into play on a 3rd and 5, dropped back, and I done seen him. We done seen it all season. What do Rob call him? Superman Cam. So and just like quarterbacks in the past, JT had, the Jeremy Johnsons, the David Bushes, the Bryson Smith, the Greg Wards, the ones we missed that can just kill you with their legs. All 3rd and 5, that's nothing. Or they can make the throw. So it's really, the things that are, that I'm sure defensive coordinators just keep in mind. This is situational football. And so, but like I say, I was like, well, I know John Tyler, they got the running game to get it done, because I'm not saying you had to pound Keaton Crawford to death. You got Medlock. You got, you got Tay Pickard or whatever. Pinkard, I can't say it. He came back. So, and then Lacey, I didn't even mention Lacey. I was talking to Rob, I didn't even mention Lacey. I saw he had one good run, but they had, like I say, I was like, well, I was saying get a ball to Keaton, let him eat for at least 20 carries. Like I say, man, he got, you see, you just can't ignore that. You just have to, like I say, that helps. Hey, just like what they say about the Cowboys, the analysts, GMs, etc., all say that, well, Zeke is the driving force of that team. And then when you can play action with Dak, of course, he can make the throws with a Cooper, with a Randall Cobb, with a Michael Gallup, hit Jason Witten here and there. I mean, so, I'm not saying Isaiah Jones, but you have to, that running game could have took you home. And what else does it do? It controls the game, meaning, well, Isaiah Johnson ain't throwing that pick. Now, he could probably still throw a pick, but where he ain't down 10 points with 4 minutes left and you ain't a quick scoring offense or a high-powered offense, you see what I'm saying? You got a man-child running like he's been showing y'all, especially last week and this week. Yeah, Keaton Crawford, yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason why he was highly recruited, and then he's committed to that burn horn. Shout out to my Longhorns, but I didn't like how they gave up a stinker to TCU. But I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm not gonna talk about them. Lead in the past. But like I say, this game, I guess you could say, man, there's a little sunshine, because now, like I say, I haven't even really processed. Now, I know who they probably going to play if they slip the 4th place. I mean, we heard, the news, but I believe Rob mentioned it. But I also heard it on the radio. I was listening that, 4th place, they'll probably be playing Lufkin. We know that's not easy. You'll have to head to Lufkin, I believe. I believe it'll be, yeah. So, 3rd place, I'm not sure. If they win against Sherman, 3rd place, we'll see what happens. But
might be safe 3rd.
Now I'm not saying it don't look like it's probably gonna be a gimme. We gotta see how John Tyler's gonna travel and show up Friday night, and we don't know about how this quarterback situation gonna go. But let's just talk. This gonna sound elementary, but let's just say, look, just go in. You need some momentum going into the playoffs. Now, do we know how deep they can go in the playoffs? We got to see who they face first. Now, they can go on. Look, this loss to Mesquite Poteet give them a 2-game losing streak after starting 3-0 in district. So it's very important. You don't want to lose 3 straight and then go in the playoffs and then have to face a Lufkin, just known as a powerhouse, and their house. It's just hard. It's hard to go down there and win. It's just what it is. A Longview caliber team can do it, yada, yada, yada. So you want especially, this game is very important in so many ways, because especially coming off 2 losses, okay? And then you have an opponent you're more than capable of beating. I'm not trying to downplay Sherman, but I also said just a second ago, it's not going to be a gimme. So, you can't overlook it, especially with how John Tyler's been playing. Well, McKinney North, hey, if it wasn't for Keaton Crawford, he went bonkers, over like 300 yards, touchdowns. Think about if he had maybe a regular 100-yard game, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns. You lose by 2 or 3 touchdowns. So the game isn't close. We ain't even talked about that. So, but thing is this, man, it's already look. It was the last regular season home game. It was a game you were more incapable of winning. And I didn't even mention Mesquite Poteet, the running back they had, a little over 15. He just, real short. He had a short stature, real slippery. So he kept some drives alive from Mesquite Poteet. That's where the turnovers killed you, because the quarterback wasn't killing you. It was the running back, and they sustained drives. Once he hit, slithered through them holes. I mean, hey. And once they got late in the fourth quarter, they pretty much, Poteet, I pretty much sensed that they was like, we got this. And then the pick six just put more icing. You could have said it was buttercream icing, vanilla icing, whatever kind of icing you want. But the cake was made. They just put but he probably put a cherry on top too. And we already know the running back. I was thinking to myself when under a minute left, I was like, just don't even give up another touchdown. This game is over. That just put more salt on the wound. And then I feel like the running back, I forgot his name, number 15 for Poteet, he just hit the little hole. And once he got past the linebacker, I'm like, you're never going to catch me. You're wasting your time. Y'all know it is Family Guy. But that's what happened. And then, they couldn't get him. So it was about from probably 20-some yards out, if I'm not mistaken. But like I say, they headed up to Sherman Friday night. That's a good ways for a butt whooping. So we hope they come back with the dub. It won't be a good thing coming back with a hot ale. You don't want to go in a restaurant getting served no hot ales. You want hot dubs. So, and maybe some hot cocoa because it might be cold. But anyway, but like I say, we gonna see what happens. Hey man, we sniffing playoff time. See, usually next to last game of the season, that's when it really heats up. Now that's why I mentioned fourth place. If they lose against Sherman, slip to fourth place, they probably gotta go play Lufkin. So it's like, what you want to do, So, hey. We're going to see what the quarterback situation is. I'll just say it right now. Rob mentioned this. I'll say this and pass it back off to Rob. But if Cam plays in the playoffs, he has to get some reps in this last game. You can't go, he had no reps since, the fourth quarter of the McKinney North game. So you can't go into a playoff game. It's just like when they talk about football, football, if a team like NFL, if, a team has something wrapped up, but a skill position play, let's just say quarterback. Let's just, keep it at quarterback. If the quarterback ain't played, and it's kind of like the Drew Brees situation was a little different because Drew Brees didn't have to come back against the Cardinals. Saints would have won that game against the Cardinals. And then you got the bye, so he could have got an extra 2 weeks of rest. But hey, he looked sharp. No worries, right? Let's just get him some reps for the bye week. That's cool if you want to say that. If you want, but it's Drew. He wanted to play as soon as he was healthy. He wanted to be out there with his teammates, and that's what he said after the game. So, but let's see what happens. Like I say, yeah, the Isaiah Johnson thing, they just need to ride the running game, and defense is going to have to, shut the run off. So that's how they're going to have to find some success. And they can't let a mediocre team, and I'm not calling Sherman mediocre, I'm just saying, just like the Poteet, if you don't feel like a team is more superior, you can't give them no life. And that's how Mesquite Poteet held into the game. Like in the second half, they stay in the game. That builds confidence for that team. And it was 2 or 3 certain plays that fired that team up, and they eventually, closed the game out and what was 17-14 ended in 37-14. See what I'm saying? That's a big difference. All it takes is a couple plays. But we'll be back on, man, next week. I hope we're talking about a dub. Before I give it back off the rod, man, I want to shout out. I'm gonna shout out to the Scorpios that support. Yeah, I'm giving it straight to the Scorpios. Shout out Miss Kiera Smith. Shout out Miss Diamond Morton. Shout out Miss Jasmine Williams. Shout out POH, Mr. Roderick Edwards. Yeah, just shout out to the. Oh yeah. Also, I give a birthday shout out. Happy birthday to my homie, Miss Kathy Robinson. Salute. You're a wonderful mother, hard worker. I'm proud of you. And also, everybody stay warm. And I wish y'all a great weekend. And thank y'all for the support. Hey, and we appreciate y'all when y'all listen. Share it up support, man. I know there's some people out there that will want the same support, but we appreciate any support we get. 5 views, 200 views. Thank y'all, though. Salute.
Yeah, because I've been at one video. I was at like 1 view on my videos, and all of a sudden we had hundreds and hundreds and thousands of views. 30,000 on the long view video. Like, it's crazy. So, yes, shout out to everybody that's doing the the party thing tomorrow. The Scorpios. Shout out to Jasmine Williams again. I think he shouted out.
Shout out to Jasmine. Look, Jasmine Williams, JASMIN Williams on Facebook. Man, if y'all need an actress, model, very professional about her business, one of the best people you gonna work with, look her up, man. Network with an actress, event host, model, fashion show, photo shoot, video shoot. Man, network, man. Let's go. Don't be sleeping on it.
I'm just glad she unblocked me. I'm glad she unblocked me. But yeah, man. I wanted to say more stuff on the podcast, but I might put another podcast out just to say some more of the things. But I don't want to just put everything out the bag. But there's some stuff going on in the coaching situation with the kids, and now we see that some of the kids on the team is questioning what Coach Jones was doing too. Now I heard that like directly from some sources. So y'all hopefully they'll get it together. Hopefully they can get it together next week. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Hopefully we'll be talking about the Patriots losing to the Ravens too. I want to see that. I want to see the Patriots lose to the Ravens. But look at that, this dude. Oh, we watching something. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. Just remember that I'm watching this dude dunking the ball and he just pretty much dinked it. But yeah, we out of here. My YouTube channels, my YouTube subscriber, y'all know what it is. We getting Madden in a few days, and we back on a scheduled program. And I hate NFL kickers too because they make so much money to suck. Like, I could be a kicker. Like, maybe I should be a kicker. Like, I can do the same thing that I can. If Cody Parkey can get paid, I can get paid. Like, just think about it. That's what it is, man. We out here. Good episode here. Almost 40 minutes, but yeah, we out.